I'm going to show you how to do this assignment and how to draw oblique drawings, isometric drawings, 1-point perspectives, and 2-point perspectives. And I'm going to use, let's use the letter G. So, to do oblique, you first draw your regular letter in the front. And you want it to be, it's got to have some thickness to it. Don't draw a 2D thin letter. It's got to have some weight to it. And I suggest always writing kind of light first, because then you can always come back and make it darker later. Darker to however you like the way it looks. We'll do like that. Once you've got your letter shaped out in the 2D look, now it's time to enter into 3-dimensional. So the way that we have this set up, your width is back and forth here at 0 degrees, and your height is up and down at 90 degrees. Your depth is going back at this angle. This is 45 degrees. And you'll see in a little bit why I'm pointing that out. So this is a box that contains this whole thing. So it's going to go back, I'm going to go back 2 units. And I'm going back at 45 degrees. The easiest way to tell if I'm doing that right is I'm parallel to this line or parallel to this line. A 45-degree angle is through the corners of the squares like that. So you want to try to, if I'm going to start here in the square, I'm going to end in the same side of the square up that way. It's about there. And then the same arches that I make here, I'm going to try to match those arches in the back. So here's the top part of my G. Here's the little flat part, and then it comes down, angles back a little. And I should also see part of my G here. It will be hidden under there, and that's where my G is sitting. And then you might want to take a moment to shade it. It's going to be darker at the bottom of it, and then a little bit lighter as it goes down, and then real light on the top areas. All right, so there's my G in an oblique style drawing. Now let's look at isometric. Isometric, the depth is here, and this is at a 30-degree angle. Not 45, but 30. And then my width is also at 30 degrees, but in the opposite direction. My height is still up and down at 90 degrees. So I'm going to try to draw my same G here, but now set at a bit of an angle. Maybe if you're doing more flat things, like let's say the letter F, might seem a little bit easier to draw it. But I want to do a rounded letter like G. And so I want to follow the same angles going out. I'm following these same lines of depth going out. And I want to go about 2 out from there. I'm just trying to keep it a little bit consistent. See, this one is 2 out here. And then, let's see, that would be 2 out, so it'd be up to about here. And then it'd start angling back before it meets the very end of it. The edge of it would be there, and then I can do my shading if I'd like. But let me move a little bit quicker and do shading later. Now let's look at the point perspective ones. So this is very similar to a point perspective is very similar to an oblique. You're going to draw the G in the front. But we don't have graph paper for this one, so you're going to try to draw the same looking G from the front. And then when you go to draw your other line, you can take your previous paper, and we're aiming towards this vanishing point over here. This is my vanishing point. So I'm going to take my paper, and I'm going to line up each edge. Each edge, each point. So maybe if I do it this way, you'll see it better. So I went down to the edge at the bottom. Now I want to get edge to this point and this point. We want to get a couple of points so we can make sure that we're doing it right. That should help. Now I don't want it to go back infinitely, so I'm going to go back and then maybe curve it out at some point and come straight over. And then I don't have to worry about all of this over here. So I'll erase it so it's not in the way of my other letter. So that would be the bottom part of my G. And then let's see, we'll go up straight here and mark the top part of my G. And then about the same length that I did there, I want to come out probably about here and just kind of estimate where that goes. And there's my G. Now, 2-point perspective, this is more of a challenge. So I've got my curved letter here. I want to curve it like this. Sorry, you can't see. I want to curve my letter G like that. But the part that's straight on the top, I'm going to need to make sure I put the right line going out to that vanishing point out there. So this is where the flat part of the G will sit. And then the bottom part, and then I'll try to match it going back. Let me use that to also match it going back here. So that gives me the front of the G. Let me draw an F to help you see that too. So the F, it's going to be here and here and down. And then where this F ends, I'm going to angle back there. And then I'm going to go straight down. And then I want to angle forward the bottom part of the F, the second little layer. Like that. Now to get the depth of the F going back in space, I would line up the top of it to the vanishing point here. So I'm angling back to this vanishing point. So I'm going to draw just a straight line there, go down to the next one, straight line back to the vanishing point, this F here, there. So I've got all these lines that I'm going to match, and I might want to erase some of these other lines that I put that are in the way. But so my F, I want it to go back about the same distance for all of them. There. So it's always about trying to angle back towards the vanishing parts. This is the hardest one to do. So when I come to do the G here, I'll have the top of it here, the base of it here, and then the little flat part. And the very base of it. You're constantly angling it back to that vanishing point. So it does make the task a little bit harder to do. So let's try to go back the same depth here to match the F there. And then about the same distance back here to try and get the back of that curve. And then there's my G. All right, so here is my shaded figures. You're gonna try to do all your initials, so 3 letters in the 2-point perspective, 3 letters in the 1-point perspective, 3 letters in the oblique style, and 3 letters in the isometric style. So I recorded this to kind of help you if you're trying to do some letters and you're stuck, and I'm willing to walk around and help you during class too, but this is just in case if you need a little bit of help. I have this here for you. Feel free to ask me questions as I walk around, and whatever you don't finish, try to get done for homework. Thank you. Bye.